In a season that began with uncertainty and ended in celebration, Bayern Munich reclaimed their Bundesliga throne under Vincent Kompany. The club's bold appointment of the former Burnley boss sparked questions, but it led to tactical evolution, player resurgence, and silverware. For Harry Kane, it was a personal triumph, his long-awaited first major trophy. The club also made a statement by signing Michael Olise from Crystal Palace and bringing him to the Allianz Arena. He would of course go on to have an absolutely brilliant season for Bayern Munich, helping them to the Bundesliga title. It would also be a farewell campaign for club legend Thomas Müller, who ended an era after nearly 2 decades of service to Bayern Munich by winning the Bundesliga title. This season marked not just a victory on the pitch, but hopefully the start of a new chapter in Bayern's illustrious history. Let's get into it. When Vincent Kompany was appointed as Bayern Munich's head coach back in May 2024, eyebrows were raised across the football world. After being relegated with Burnley in the Premier League, many questioned whether he was ready for a job of this magnitude, especially at one of the biggest clubs in world football. But Bayern Munich saw beyond the results. They saw a visionary, and within months, Kompany turned skepticism into admiration. His approach was clear from the outset. Bayern would control games through possession, positional rotations, and relentless pressing. Inspired, of course, by Pep Guardiola, Kompany's Bayern played in a flexible 3-2-4-1 or a fluid 4-1-4-1 formation, depending on the opposition. The team consistently maintained over 60% possession across the Bundesliga season, the highest in the league, showcasing their dominance with and without the ball. The fullbacks would often invert, stepping into the midfield, allowing players like Kimmich or Goretzka to push forward into the half spaces. The result, a midfield overload that suffocated opponents. Bayern didn't just win games, they suffocated them tactically. Their build-up play started deep but accelerated rapidly as soon as space was found. The team also ranked top for touches in the opposition box and accurate passes per 90 minutes. Kompany's pressing triggers were equally meticulous. Bayern led the Bundesliga in possessions won in the final third, a testament to their aggressive, coordinated press. When they lost the ball, recovery was immediate, turning defense into offense in seconds. Defensively, Kompany drilled discipline and anticipation. Bayern kept 16 clean sheets and conceded only 32 goals all season, the least in the Bundesliga. The transformation was summed up by Bayern's final stats come the end of the season. Finishing on 82 points, they missed out by 1 goal in reaching the 100 mark, again only conceding 32 goals this season with 25 wins and only 2 defeats in the Bundesliga. But one of the more important things I believe with Bayern Munich this season is Kompany was seemingly able to revive the squad's morale. Players like Sane, the Musialas, flourished under clear roles and fluid systems. The dressing room believed again, and with that belief came results. For Harry Kane, this season wasn't just about goals, it was about legacy. After years of heartbreak at Tottenham and near misses with England, the 24-25 Bundesliga title marked his first major trophy in professional football. It was a moment of relief, redemption, and triumph for one of the greatest strikers of his generation. This season in the Bundesliga, Harry Kane scored 26 goals and got himself 10 assists to help Bayern to the Bundesliga title and maintained his blistering goals per 90 average this season. His finishing, as per usual, was clinical. Right foot, left foot, headers. He delivered in every single way, just like he always does. With Harry Kane, we know what he's about. He is a goal scorer and always will be a goal scorer. But this season, it wasn't just about his goal scoring and the volume of goals that he would be getting. I think that was always an inevitability. I think when Bayern needed composure and precision, he would provide it. Of course, he got those 10 assists, which showcases underrated playmaking ability, often dropping deep to create space for players like Musiala, Sane or Olise to exploit. Off the pitch, Kane's impact was just as profound. He brought professionalism, experience, and a burning hunger to win that lifted the squad's mentality. For For younger players, he was a role model. For veterans, he was the missing piece in their renewed title challenge. And when Bayern sealed the title on the final day, it was Kane lifting that silverware, finally, after 435 career appearances without a major club trophy. The weight was off his shoulders and the emotion said it all. His move to Bayern wasn't just a career change, it was the right decision at the right time, and it paid off spectacularly. When Michael Olise arrived in Munich last summer, eyebrows were raised a little bit. The move came amid interest from clubs across Europe, but Bayern and Vincent Kompany made him a priority. By the end of the season, it was clear why. Olise wasn't just a new signing, he was a transformational figure in Bayern's attack. Olise slotted into Kompany's fluid 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 system as the right-sided attacker, but his role was anything but traditional. He functioned as a free-roaming playmaker, drifting inside, occupying half spaces, and constantly looking to disrupt defensive structures. His ability to receive under pressure, beat a man with a drop of the shoulder, and pick out killer passes gave Bayern an edge they had lacked in recent seasons. Technically gifted and tactically mature, Olise finished the Bundesliga campaign with 12 goals and 18 assists, but his contribution was far more layered. He ranked in the top 5 for expected assists and big chances created, outperforming several established Bundesliga stars in creative metrics. He averaged 2.3 key passes per 90 minutes, and his crossing and set-piece delivery became weapons in Kompany's playbook. One of Olise's most valuable qualities was his timing. He was Bayern's answer in games where they couldn't break teams down. In tight contests, especially against compact mid-table sides, he consistently produced decisive moments, a curling finish from the edge of the box, a perfectly timed reverse ball to Kane, or a quick 1-2 with Musiala to unlock deep blocks. Tactically, Kompany gave Olise the freedom to overload central areas, almost as a hybrid between winger and attacking midfielder. He often tucked infield while the right back provided width. This movement disrupted opposition shape and allowed Bayern to dominate possession in the final third. Olise's heat map revealed heavy involvement in the quote-unquote zone 14, the space just outside the penalty area where he was most dangerous. And then of course came the pressing. Under Vincent Kompany, Bayern were aggressive in their defensive structure and Olise played his part. He wasn't just an artist, he worked relentlessly to recover possession in the attacking third, often sparking transitions that led directly to goals. Perhaps more impressive was how quickly Olise gelled with the squad. His chemistry with players like Harry Kane and Musiala became one of the most effective attacking trios in Europe. Kane's movement created pockets of space, Musiala's dribbling destabilized defenders, and Olise stitched it all together with intelligence and precision. For a player who many thought would probably take time to adapt at this level, considering he was coming from Crystal Palace respectively, Olise became a pillar of Bayern's title-winning side in his very first season. He didn't just rise to the occasion, he shaped it. And if this season is anything to go by, Bayern have a future superstar on their hands. As Bayern Munich lifted their Bundesliga title, it felt like more than just a trophy celebration. It was the beginning of a new era under Vincent Kompany and the end of a glorious chapter in the club's storied history. Harry Kane, at long last, silenced the doubters. No more trophy jokes, no more what-ifs. He came, he led, and he delivered. Olise, the elegant architect from Crystal Palace, became Bayern's surprise weapon, unlocking defences, dazzling crowds, and showing the Bundesliga exactly why Bayern fought so hard to sign him last summer. His debut season will be remembered as one of the most impactful in recent memory. But of course, amid the celebrations, there was also a hint of melancholy, because this season marked the final campaign of Thomas Müller in a Bayern shirt. Over 750 appearances for Bayern Munich, with countless of trophies during that period of time for both Bayern Munich and Germany. He was honestly just a walking trophy magnet. 13 Bundesliga titles, 2 Champions Leagues, a World Cup, numerous of other cup competition winning medals that he has gotten whilst being at Bayern Munich, an absolute legend of the football club and a player that this generation will definitely miss. He was a very unique type of player. We do not have many players who play in the way that Thomas Müller did, and he kind of almost invented his own position. That's how good Thomas Müller was, throughout his period of time. As Kompany builds something fresh with youth, intelligence and intensity, he will do so standing on the shoulders of legends like Thomas Müller, who handed over the keys with grace and pride. Bayern's title was more than a triumph, it was a passing of the torch, from legends to leaders, from tradition to transformation, from heartbreak to redemption. And if this season is anything to go by, the future of Bayern Munich is burning bright. Make sure, peeps, you stay locked in to our final episode of the Champions Edition, and we will be looking at Barcelona.